Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My daughter is a rageaholic.
Have you punched your mother in the face?
No.
Yes.
They're lying to you. He's lying to you. She's lying to you. You just want me to keep on pushing pills down my throat.
You were in jail 7 months.
You were so drunk you didn't remember a damn thing. We could ask my older sister.
He wasn't there.
I was 16 years old. I'm not finished. What is wrong with your brain?
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Thank you very much. All right, I want you to meet 18-year-old Tyler. She's a very pleasant-looking, nice young lady, right? What if I told you that in the last 2 years, 18-year-old Tyler has been arrested 10 times, has had the police called on her at least 30 times for altercations with her own family? Now, her parents, Stacy and Dan, say they've had to file multiple orders of protection against Tyler for the safety of themselves and their other 2 children. Now, trouble with the law finally caught up with her in January 2017, and Tyler spent 7 months in jail for violating her probation because she beat up her friend. But since getting out of jail, her parents say Tyler's out-of-control behavior has only gotten worse. Now, Stacy and Dan say their daughter Tyler is refusing to take any medication or seek any treatment for any mental health disorders that she may have. Now, according to 18-year-old Tyler, treating her mental health is just, quote, not something she wants to do right now. Now, Stacy and Dan say Tyler is a rageaholic who has punched holes in the wall, broken windshields, and even punched her mom in the face. Oh, and one more thing, she's 7 weeks pregnant. Take a look.
My daughter Tyler is a rageaholic. She has extreme anger inside of her.
Tyler's punched holes in walls, doors, broken mirrors.
Kicked the pets, even cracked my car windshield with her feet. Tyler has had the police called on her by various members of the family at least 30 times.
When Tyler got me arrested the first time, she had called the police. She then told them that I punched her in the face, and I was arrested on the spot.
Tyler has called the police trying to get her dad and I in trouble multiple times.
I actually spent 3 weeks in jail. I lost my job. Tyler's called CPS on us multiple times. The CPS investigations have pretty much become routine.
Tyler went to jail because she violated her probation.
And because she beat up a boy. She was in jail for 7 months. It's just complete chaos.
Tyler's rages are set off by anything and everything. It may be a look. Sometimes in the grocery store, Tyler would perceive that somebody was giving her a dirty look, and I would tell her I don't think that's the case, and be concerned that she would be angry at me for telling her that.
She called me an ass bitch.
Tyler is physically and verbally abusive to every member of the family.
We've had to file these order of protections against Tyler because of her violence.
When I was 6.5 months pregnant, Tyler had pushed her body up against me with such force that she was slamming me into a door.
My daughter Tegan and my son Daniel literally feel hatred for Tyler.
Tyler has been diagnosed with depression,
ADD, ADHD,
bipolar,
PTSD.
Tyler does not take medication at all.
At this point, I have completely cut Tyler off, told my wife she's not to buy her stuff anymore.
Tyler is only 7 weeks pregnant. She has told me, you will never see your grandchild. I'm afraid she will crash and burn really hard.
Until she can accept that she needs help, Tyler's headed towards either long-term jail or an early death.
Okay, it's good to meet you. I'm sorry for the circumstance. You're basically parenting her, and you're using the police to help you parent her.
When Tyler was on probation, we were instructed that anytime she had any outbursts or behaviors like that, we had to call. We didn't call every time. That would be impossible.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. But they were becoming part of the parental unit, correct?
Yeah, well,
And that didn't work.
The other thing is, if we let it go too far, one of us would, more than likely me, would end up in jail for.
Oh, hell, I don't know how you've gone this far. Seriously, I don't know how you even go home. Because it's a ticking time bomb for you, right? She's had you arrested, 3 times?
Yeah,
For parenting.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this can't go on, right?
Right.
Okay, now she's got these multiple diagnoses that you said bipolar 1, ADHD, ADD, BPD, PTSD.
Yes.
Damn, buy a Val. That's a lot of diagnoses for an 18-year-old.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Do you think she has PTSD?
There was an incident where she was in a boarding home where someone tried to stab her with a knife, and I'm sure that was probably pretty traumatic.
It's a very complex diagnostic sequence. I see no evidence of it whatsoever in her patterns here at all. Dreams, nightmares, intrusive recollections, reliving the trauma, psychological, physiological reaction to cues, like loud noises, things of that nature, avoiding thoughts or feelings or conversations about it, activities, places, or people. Only thing is irritable and aggressive behavior, and that's not specific to this. So I think, I'm not sure that we even know what you're dealing with here, do we?
We've taken her to counseling. She's been always treated since she was young until she turned 18 and decided she was done with it.
But you don't know whether you were treating her for ADHD, ADD, borderline personality. You were just taking her for counseling.
When you're stuck in this situation, you listen to the professionals and you,
Sure, of course,
you let them.
Of course, you would.
Just
You would.
go. Family counseling. Okay, let's go.
You don't go get a counselor and then not listen to them, right? You either
right.
put your faith in them or you don't.
Right. Yes.
I'm not being critical. I'm just trying to find out what you've done and not done, and do you know what you're treating or not treating?
I don't think we do.
No.
So at this point, here's what we know. She's not interested in doing anything to improve the situation or change it.
Right. She tells
Okay.
me that it has changed. She's changed.
Okay.
She says all of the people in her life besides us see a change, but they're all new people that she met in jail.
Okay, well, maybe. Okay, look, 18-year-old Tyler says her mom has hit her, bitten her, scratched her chest. She says her dad once punched her in the nose. She bled all over the bathroom. Her parents say Tyler is a liar who frequently makes up stories and then calls the police and CPS on them. Called CPS once from the jail on them. She just had a feeling that things weren't right. We'll meet Tyler after the break.
My mom said, "I hate you and I want you to die." One time, my father hit me really hard in the face. When I was 13 years old, my parents put me in a group home.
And later,
How would you know? You were so goddamn drunk you didn't remember a
She
goddamn
wasn't
thing.
there.
You didn't know who I was.
She was
You
gone
realize
all
you
night.
kept calling me
She was
Lacey?
gone
Who
all-
the is Lacey, Dad?
Tyler tried to manipulate me and my wife with a suicide attempt.
Tyler searched through all of my medications and found one that she thought could harm her.
She took pictures holding the bottle of pills and posted them on social media. I found Tyler on the couch, semi-conscious. I called 911.
The pills made her really out of it, but they didn't hurt her. I feel bad saying it was for attention, but I mean, that's like, hello.
well, Stacy and Dan say their pregnant 18-year-old daughter, Tyler, is a rageaholic who has been abusing the family for years. Now, since getting out of jail in July, they say her behavior has actually gotten worse. Now, Tyler says her parents call the police on her any chance they get, and that there's a whole lot more to this story than they're telling. Take a look.
I am the black sheep of the family. My parents have brainwashed my siblings into thinking that I'm this big, horrible monster. My parents have called the police on me so many times for yelling at my brother, like siblings do to each other. They've had a refrain from order on me. I'm not to yell, swear, portray any harassing behaviors towards any of my family members. My mom has said, "I hate you and I want you to die." She calls me a whore a lot. My dad, he's the one who started calling me a whore before my mom even did. One time, my dad shoved me into my bedroom closet wall, and my elbow and the back of my head went through the wall, and there's still a hole there to this day. Another time, my father hit me really hard in the face. My nose started bleeding, so I ran to the bathroom. Blood got everywhere, all over the bathtub, the floor, the toilet seats. I called the police, and they arrested him. When I was 13 years old, my parents kicked me out of the house and put me in a group home. They said that my behavior was the worst they'd ever seen. This year, I went to jail for 7 months for several violations of probation. The judge said I was a danger. They offered me probation again, but I decided to take my jail time. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. While I was in jail, I called CPS on my parents because while I was on a video call with my father, he was under the influence, was holding my infant sister. My boyfriend's name is Adam. We are engaged, and I am 7 weeks pregnant. I was in shock at first, kind of the whole, oh man, why wasn't I more careful stage. Life has been the furthest from normal, just so dysfunctional.
Okay, I'm glad you're here. How do you feel about being here?
To be honest, I'm a little nervous. I feel like nothing's really gonna come out of this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nothing's ever worked before. I don't see anything ever working, so.
Maybe I'm different.
I hope so.
This is a family situation here.
Yes.
And so I've talked to them about that, but I'm asking you, what's your ownership in this? What is it that sets you up to be criticized?
I do have anger issues. I wouldn't use that as, like my dad always says, like I use that as a crutch, my anger issues. Like that's not a good reason to be the way that you are, but I have a lot of trouble controlling myself sometimes.
Why were you on probation?
Fighting with my parents, trouble at school.
And then you violated your probation, and that involved beating up a friend?
I didn't beat him up. I punched him in the face. I mean, not saying that makes it any better by any means, but I didn't like straight beat him up or anything.
Okay. Have you kicked the windshield out of your family car?
No. I was sitting in the front seat waiting to go home. It was like below freezing outside. I didn't kick it. It wasn't like shattered or anything. It's not like I took a freaking baseball bat to it. I sat up in the seat.
And it cracked?
I guess so. We had a really crappy car. So I can't really tell you why it cracked. I'm not a freaking scientist, but it cracked, and that's not my fault.
Have you punched your mother in the face? While she was pregnant?
No, I did not punch her in the face. My mom physically tried to restrain me while I was pregnant. Well, she was pregnant, sorry.
Did she punch you in the face?
Yes.
Dan says Tyler has had him arrested and sent to jail, as I said before, on more than one occasion for attacking her. Dan says he's never hit any of his children, but Tyler says her dad repeatedly punched her in the ribs during an altercation in 2015. We'll talk about that and hear from little brother and sister when we come back.
When I was 16, my father was in my bedroom yelling, screaming. He didn't know who I was or who he was at all. And he started punching me in the rib. He started saying sexual things to me. My mom blamed me for all of it.
And later, do not disrespect me or this audience. I'm telling you, don't do that.
All right, well, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. He's lying to you. She's lying to you.
I have been pregnant once before. At school that day, I was in a lot of pain, and I realized that I was losing my baby.
She tells everybody she had a miscarriage. Family members, friends, people talk about it, and say Tyler was lying. She knows I don't believe her.
She denies it completely that I was ever pregnant.
Well, 18-year-old Tyler is currently 7 weeks pregnant, but she says she was pregnant once before at 16. Now, Tyler claims she lost that baby. Stacy and Dan say they aren't sure if Tyler was ever pregnant at 16 years old. That's because they accuse her of being a liar and claim she has a long history of false accusations. Now, Dan says he's never hit any of his daughters, not ever. But on July 11th of 2015, he was arrested for battery and assault and cruelty to children. Take a look.
When I was 16, my father was in my bedroom yelling, screaming, just scary, angry, slurring his words. He didn't know who I was or who he was at all. My dad ended up talking to my mother on the phone because I wouldn't let him hold on to my phone because I was worried he would break it.
Tyler wouldn't give me her phone, so I tried to physically take it away from her, grabbed her arm and tried to just pry the phone from her hand.
So he started punching me in the rib.
I've never punched my daughter.
He thought I was somebody completely different, and he started saying sexual things to me. I was worried and scared because he didn't know who I was, and so I called the police.
I was arrested.
I was confused, scared, worried about what my mom was going to think when she came home.
I actually spent 3 weeks in jail for endangerment of the welfare of a minor and physical contact. I lost my job.
My mom was very mad at me.
I said to Tyler, I want you to tell them what really happened. And she said, you're telling me to lie to the police, and freaking out.
My mom wasn't there. She doesn't know.
I've never even asked my husband. I know it's not true.
There was this time where you two got in a fracas at a doctor's appointment. She didn't want to go in, so you said you sprinkled water on her.
Yes, I did.
Now, okay, if you believe that you have a volatile, rageaholic daughter, and she is at the time being oppositional and defiant, you think the best thing to do is throw water on her?
In hindsight, it was not the best decision. I was getting real mad. I was going to be late for my appointment, and she was refusing to get out.
And so you thought the thing to do was throw water on her?
I looked over, there's a water bottle. She was blowing her stack, and I thought, hey, I'll shut it off. Yeah.
How did that work for you?
It didn't work out very well. She pushed my door open so hard, she bent my door, she hit my hand, pushed it backwards, hyperextended my wrist, injured me. I mean, it didn't go well at all.
Yeah, but where's the adult here is what I'm saying. That doesn't work well. You're in this situation the night that you get arrested. The police report did say you were drinking that night. Under what set of logic does it make sense? You know you have a volatile, in your mind, rageaholic daughter. I'm not saying she is. I'm just saying that's how you view her, right?
Yes.
So you know in your mind that's what you're dealing with. So you decide, I'm going to physically take her phone from her. She's not going to give it to me, so by God, I'm going to take it away from her.
That would be the only way to punish her, and she would never give up anything. You have to take it away or wait till
Okay,
she sits
how did
down
that
and
work
try
for
to take
you?
it. Well, in that occasion, it didn't work out very well.
You don't see how that leads to a bad result for you.
How else are we supposed to punish her?
Oh, I can think of a couple of thousand ways before
Feel
I would
free
put
to let me-
myself, as you, Dad, let me be selfish for you. If I'm you, knowing what I'm dealing with, whatever the list of options are, that would be the last one on my list because I know what I'm subjecting myself to. I'm just trying to be selfish on your behalf.
And it was the last option on our list. We have tried everything with Tyler, from grounding to taking her door off the hinges to shutting off Wi-Fi.
So you still think that was a reasonable thing to do in the moment?
Well, I mean, it wasn't the best decision.
How long were you in jail?
3 weeks.
I believe I'd have tried something else before I spent 3 weeks in jail. Come on.
Well, again, we had tried multiple things.
I'm frustrated right now, and I'm not going to wrestle either one of you to the ground, because I'm sitting here thinking I've got two parents that I'm trying to get to see that you're putting yourself in harm's way. As a parent, you pick your battles and you pick your battlefields. Wrestling a phone while you're intoxicated and she's emotionally or combative, that is neither the battle nor the battlefield.
I agree.
I'm just saying. Next, Tyler's 16-year-old sister and her 14-year-old brother Daniel say their families' lives would simply be better if Tyler would just not be living in the house. Tyler says her parents have brainwashed her siblings into hating her. Well, we're going to meet them after the break. We'll be right back.
Tyler lies about being abused. Basically anything that will get her attention.
Tyler has said I'm a worthless, stupid bitch. She finds some self-satisfaction in putting other people down to bring herself up.
I posted something about myself being bisexual, and my father was very rude in his opinions.
Tyler knew my beliefs. Bisexuals are just people who are addicted to lust and will anything, and that really set Tyler off.
My father said that it was a lustful sin and that everybody who was bisexual sickened him.
She responded nasty and negatively, but I'm a born-again Christian. I'm just quoting what the Bible says.
I stood up for myself, and he got really angry with me and stopped talking to me like altogether.
Okay, Dan says he's not speaking to his 18-year-old daughter, Tyler, and told his wife, Stacy, to cut her off. Now, Tyler's 16-year-old sister, Tegan, says Tyler is manipulative, lies, and abuses. Tyler's 14-year-old brother, Daniel, says it would be better if Tyler were just not there right now if she's going to behave in this way. Take a look.
Tyler's been abusive to me for as long as I can remember.
She hit me in the face with a peanut butter jar. I actually went to the ER.
Tyler has said I'm a worthless, stupid bitch, ugly, a screw up.
Tyler will call me retarded and stupid.
She finds some self-satisfaction in putting other people down to bring herself up.
One time after I called the police on Tyler, she told them I was repeatedly punching her in the face. I've never hit my sister.
My sister has made accusations to the police about my dad molesting her, my parents abusing her and beating her, and none of that is true. Both me and Daniel were talked to by a CPS worker. They kept asking us questions. It was very traumatizing.
Tyler lies about being abused. Basically anything that will get her attention. She used to lie about being pregnant until she actually became pregnant.
Tyler being pregnant is a cry for help.
She's not fit for raising a child or anything, including herself.
She just wants attention.
I do not like my sister. I don't want Tyler in my life.
Okay, have you two been brainwashed by your parents, or have you made up your own minds based on your relationship interactions with your sister?
We've made up our own minds based on everything that's happened.
She's mean to you.
Yes.
Why? Why do you think that is?
Because she feels like it.
What do you think about what she's saying today and how she's characterizing things today?
She's lying a lot or leaving things out that are very significant.
Such as?
It was not a crack, it was shattered. The whole entire windshield had to be replaced. If it was just a crack, it could have been fixed. The whole entire windshield was replaced. It was a huge shatter. She did it out of anger.
What do you say about that?
They're lying to you also. First of all, I'd like to talk about the fact that on that video, my sister said that I have called her some names. I have called her names, and I definitely, I'm not gonna lie, have called my brother a retard. She has called me fat, ugly. She's never sworn at me. She's never called me a bitch. I'm sure that I have called her a bitch. I'm not gonna lie about that. But I don't think I have ever told her she's worthless or anything like that. My brother and sister, they don't know it, they don't believe it, but they mean the world to me. Mm-hmm. I care about them more than I care about myself. I would jump in front of a school bus for them. I would take a bullet for them. And it blows my mind that they hate me so much.
To call someone a retard, as you say, is very inappropriate.
Well,
I
you've heard that
understand
before,
that.
haven't you?
What's funny about that?
It blows my mind. It really does. I'm not saying I'm not to blame here, but they have all been lying through their teeth to you throughout the interviews on the screens, through talking to you right now, and it just, it honestly is funny to me that they don't have an issue with that at all. I have never, ever in my life accused my dad of sexually molesting me. He did say sexual things to me that day, but that's when I had enough and I got scared and I called the police.
Tyler,
We could ask my older sister.
you were in jail 7 months.
They tried to put me in foster care that night because I was 15, 16 years old. I'm not finished.
Somebody to take you.
I am not.
They made me find somewhere for you to go.
Who took me then, Mom?
A
Because
lady
I'm
from
pretty-
church. You stayed with a
That
lady
was
from
later,
church.
after you came
I had to
home.
immediately find somewhere for you
You're
to go.
wrong. You are wrong, Mom.
So you're saying the police in Georgia let a 16-year-old kid
Stay with a 22-year-old.
She was
How
not
would you
home.
know? You were so goddamn drunk you didn't remember a
She
goddamn
wasn't
thing.
there. She wasn't there.
You didn't know who I was.
She was
you
gone
realize
all
you
night.
kept calling me
She was
Lacey?
gone
Who
all
the
night.
Lacey, Dad? No,
You were
what the
staying.
Oh,
wrong
well,
with
well,
your
hey. Watch your mouth. Do not disrespect me or this audience by talking that way here. You either have a clean mouth or you shut up, one of the two.
All right, well, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. He's lying to you. She's lying to you.
Okay, Stacy refuses to allow Tyler to be alone with her own newborn child. The entire family worries Tyler could go into one of her raging fits, endangering the newborn. Tyler says it is incredibly hurtful that her family believes that she might hurt an infant. We'll talk about that and a baby that's on the way after the break.
Tyler has wanted to be pregnant and have a baby since she was about 13.
Because then she'll feel like she's got someone to love.
It's my child, my responsibility to teach it from right and wrong. And my parents have a very skewered version of right and wrong.
I'm very concerned now that Tyler's pregnant. She's at a very high level of anxiety.
My biggest fear in life right now is that I won't be as good as the parent as I want to be for my baby.
Tyler's admitted to me that she self-harms to get attention. One time, Tyler threatened to cut her wrist with a razor blade.
She has carved things into her leg, stabbed herself with a pencil. When Tyler pulled out her own hair, I was horrified.
You recognize, because you told me, you have a problem with anger.
Yes.
I've seen that in the last 10 minutes. You obviously have a lot of pent-up anger, and frankly, I'm not saying that there aren't justifiable reasons for it. I totally get that from your point of view, you feel like you're getting blamed for a lot of things that need to be shared, blame-wise, right? I am told, and you have said, that you have been diagnosed with a variety of disorders: bipolar, PTSD, depression, anxiety. Why would you say, I don't feel like dealing with that?
Dealing with what?
All of those disorders.
Because I don't
You don't what?
feel like dealing with it.
You're having a baby.
You have a child on the way.
Yeah, I understand that. Thank you. You just want me to keep on just pushing pills down my throat,
just
especially
deny
when
it
I'm
and
pregnant?
go forward with this anxiety and rage inside of you.
How are you going to get any better, Tyler?
How am I gonna get exactly, Dad? How am I gonna get any better?
Without trying, you can't just
Pushing
say, well,
pills down
I'm
my
sick of
throat is
trying.
not what I want to do for myself.
What
do
would you
wanna
like to do?
I'd like to get better, but I don't see that happening. I do not want to continually push medicine down my throat.
So,
I understand that you are A-okay with that, but that's not me.
Tyler,
Can I interrupt here?
Of course.
Why did y'all come here?
To try to get help for our family and Tyler.
From?
You.
Yeah.
There are some things I'd like to share with her. If I could jump in here for a second.
By all means.
I totally get what you're saying. I really do. If I'd been taking medications as long as you have, and they had made things worse, not better, I don't think I'd be running towards psychopharmacology either. And based on what I know about what your diagnoses have been and what you've been prescribed, I also agree that it's probably made you worse. Mm-hmm. Because I think A, you've been misdiagnosed, and I think B, you've been misprescribed. I think, I agree. I think it's probably made you worse. So I don't disagree with you not wanting to take a bunch of pills. So you and I are on the same side of that. Imagine that. But there's something that I want you to think about. There are certain things that you have to look at and consider as a parent, because I don't want your child to be in jeopardy. Because having been trained as a forensic psychologist, I've been called upon as an officer of the court to render opinions about the fitness of a parent. And while there are some differences, minor differences from state to state, they all generally adhere to these basic 10 principles right here in determining fitness of a parent. And number one is that parent able to provide a safe, stable, and secure environment for the child? And I think right now the answer for you would be questionable. Number two, maintain a loving, stable, consistent, nurturing relationship with the child. That's unknown. 3, attend to the daily needs of the child. Unknown. Attend to adequate education for the child, not an issue for a while. Provide for the financial support of the child, not right now. Ability to identify and prioritize the needs ahead of your own. At this point, I would have to say that alone disqualifies you as a parent for this baby, because you won't put the child's needs ahead of your own, because you're not taking care of the child's mother. The child's mother,
Because
obviously.
I don't want to take drugs?
That's not what I said. Now, you can set up a paper tiger and tie it down because you want to be a right fighter and you want to argue with me, or you can listen to what I'm telling you and hear something you need to hear. Or you're going to look at this 8.5 months from now, 7.5 months from now, and go, wow, I had a chance to fix this at the time and I didn't listen because I wanted to be smart ass about it. You want to listen to what I'm telling you here. Assist the child in development and maintenance of appropriate relationships. You can't do that for yourself, let alone for the child. Exercise appropriate judgment regarding their welfare. Your judgment, your relationship management, your impulse control and management, and putting the child's needs ahead of your own would disqualify you because you won't take care of the child's mother. Now, is the alternative to go take a bunch of pills? That's not what I'm saying. That's what you want to hear so you can argue, because that's your default position, is to argue with someone.
May I ask what you're expecting me to do then?
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to tell her exactly what I think she can do to change this situation, and I'm going to tell the family what I think they can do to contribute to this situation. This can get better. We'll be right back. You clearly are having some impulse control disorders. That doesn't mean you're an evil person. It just means you have impulse control disorders. You get really upset quick. You like go from 0 to in like 1.2 seconds. And I think there's a neurological aspect to that. You get neurological pathways in your brain that coincide with anger and rage, and you can default to that, and it's like a racetrack with no exit ramp. You can get into it, and then before you know it, you're punching somebody in the face, or you're knocking a hole in the wall, or you're just screaming. And I think if we could unscrew the top of your head and look in, it would scare us to death. It was like, it's just so busy in there. And there are a lot of things that can be done with that. First off, I think you need to have a very careful and thorough evaluation biochemically, neurologically, brain scan wise, hormonally, everything, so you know where you are, and then get you the alternatives non-medication wise to reprogram yourself so you have control that you don't now have. And that has nothing to do with them, that has to do with you. And to do that, I'm going to need to fly you to Dallas, to a special center there called the PNP Center. And it's a Psychoneuroplasticity Center, which is a long word, which is why I say PNP. I think it would make a dramatic difference, and then come away from there with a plan to bring you and your baby some peace. And I think it would make a huge difference in your life. No medicine. And this family needs some help in terms of family dynamic. Your way of problem solving is not good. That's a nice way of saying horrible. It's not good. You guys are so frustrated, you're so battle worn that you hit a frustration threshold really early. You need some relief. You need some reinforcements here, some new ways of doing things. And I'm willing to make those arrangements for you if you will take that help. And those two damn sure deserve it. They damn sure deserve it. And if I make those arrangements, will you guys immerse yourself in that? Will you do that?
Yes.
Will you take this help I'm offering you?
I have to think about it.
Will you take this help I'm offering you?
I have to think about it. I am telling you, Dr. Phil, we have been through so much, and I don't know if I even want a relationship with these people anymore.
Well,
they're not my family in my book.
Well,
I don't have them.
Then don't, but you still have to take care of yourself so you can take care of your baby. If you never see them again, you still need to have peace in your own life and prepare yourself to give your baby the best chance it has to have a wonderful, vibrant, and happy life. And I'm going to guess that you've not had a better offer.
Okay.
But listen, if you don't want to do it, I totally get it, because I want to do this with you, not to you. This is something I'm offering you to do. I'm not trying to make you do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I'm wanting to do this with you, not to you. I'm saying, hey, let me help you out here.
I know. I'll do it. I don't want to, but I
Well, if you change your mind, don't do it. But I'm guessing, like I say, it's probably the best offer you've had, and your baby sure deserves it. If you love your baby, and I know you do, take care of her mom. Okay? Take care of your mom. I'm not judging you. I'm offering to help you. And that's kind of hard to pick apart, right? Okay. Fair enough? Okay. All right. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to the PNP Center and Dr. Frank Lawless. They have offered to help Tyler because we've talked about it already. And Dr. Lawless has taken a great interest in you and is willing to work when you're ready to do it. So I hope you follow through. I really do. Okay? Okay. We'll get her to do this. It'll make a big difference. Okay. Will you take this help I'm offering you?
I have to think about it. I am telling you, Dr. Phil, we have been through so much, and I don't know if I even want a relationship with these people anymore.
Well,
they're not my family in my book.
well,
I don't have them.
Then don't, but you still have to take care of yourself so you can take care of your baby. If you never see them again, you still need to have peace in your own life and prepare yourself to give your baby the best chance it has to have a wonderful, vibrant, and happy life. And I'm going to guess that you've not had a better offer.
Okay.
But listen, if you don't want to do it, I totally get it, because I want to do this with you, not to you. This is something I'm offering you to do. I'm not trying to make you do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I'm wanting to do this with you, not to you. I'm saying, hey, let me help you out here.
I know. I'll do it. I don't want to, but I
Well, if you change your mind, don't do it. But I'm guessing, like I say, it's probably the best offer you've had, and your baby sure deserves it. If you love your baby, and I know you do, take care of her mom. Okay? Take care of your mom. I'm not judging you. I'm offering to help you. And that's kind of hard to pick apart, right? Okay. Fair enough? Okay. All right. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to the PNP Center and Dr. Frank Lawless. They have offered to help Tyler because we've talked about it already. And Dr. Lawless has taken a great interest in you and is willing to work when you're ready to do it. So I hope you follow through. I really do. Okay? Okay. We'll get her to do this. It'll make a big difference. Okay.